Hi everyone, my name is Chris, and I'm going to be putting together the Zvezda Star Destroyer model by the Russian company Zvezda. As you can see, Soviet make good Star Destroyer. It's pretty cool, it's pretty massive, so this is a pretty low frills video because I'm not a video guy and I don't have any kind of video equipment, and I'm not really going to edit any of the stuff, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to show what my plan was and some of the things I've done. I've definitely leveraged some other great build videos out there. I think there's one by someone named Ken Pearson. I'll put some links in the comments. I definitely got a lot of help from them. I am going to fiber optically light this Star Destroyer. Let me bring the hole over and kind of show you. I've already started to put together some of the pieces. I've deviated from the instructions in the order I put things together, just because I have kind of a specific plan for what I want to do. But basically, the idea is to kind of build the full kit in chunks. So I've been putting together some of these pieces kind of modularly so that I can get in there and manhandle them and sand them down and putty them as I want. And then I'm going to add on some extras. So as you can see, the surface of the model it has nice panel lines, it has a lot of little good greeblies on there, but I think it'd be kind of fun to add some of my own. So I bought some polystyrene sheets at the hobby store. I will cut those into some kind of randomized panels and bump outs and things like that. And then I will use that to cover some of the seams. One of the things that you'll notice about this kit, it's kind of hard to see, but the seams on the bottom is not too bad, but on the top, you know, sometimes the pieces right off the mold, they just don't fit together that well. I had a lot of trouble with this mating up this front section here with the back. The front section was a little flatter than the angle of the rest of the hole, and it just did not want to lay down. So I used some epoxy resin to hold that into place, clamped it really good, and let that set. But you can still see a pretty ugly seam in there. So I think having some extra, you know, greeblies and panels and things to kind of break up that visual line will be helpful. I've also bought I want to build, expand out the hanger on the bottom. Now there's a kit made by, I forget the name of the company, I think it's something called like Green Strawberry or something. They make a third-party kit where you can cut out, I forget which side of this hanger, and it creates kind of an opening in here, and then you have the like an additional hanger that you can kind of look back into and light and do that. Instead of buying theirs, I think I'm just going to make my own. I went to Home Depot and just kind of looked for some good little plastic structures and things. So I found this cable elbow, and I think that's going to make a great little hanger back there. And then at the hobby shop, I got some photo etched structural beams. These I think are for model railroading. So I'll put those in to kind of create some depth and interesting features inside and light it, so when you look back into there you'll see that structure, and hopefully that'll look pretty cool. And then one of the things I noticed from reference materials, particularly Empire Strikes Back, is that on the bottom of the, I guess the command module or bridge, there's a sort of an opening here that's lit, and it looks like it's a bay, I don't know, like a shuttle bay or a TIE fighter bay or something. It's cut out into the bottom on one of the sides, and there's a very kind of a small version of the hanger that you have in there. So I think what I'm going to do is I got some like Ethernet receiver plugs from, again, Home Depot, and I like that because it's kind of a little contained plastic box, and it has some kind of cool structural elements inside. Hopefully you can see that. I don't think my camera will zoom in on that very well, but yeah, there you go. You can see it has some kind of cool stuff in there. So I think I'm going to cut that down somehow. I might use another one to cut out the garbage bay on the back of the neck, and I'm thinking about finding some way to kind of work this in there, so that will be inside, and we'll light that, and that will look pretty cool. And then I got some other just random greeblies from the hobby store again. I think these are again for model railroading. It's like fences and grates and, you know, I don't know, stair banisters and things like that. So I think I'll add those in and try to use that. And then for the engines, you know, a lot of people have been looking at like flickering LEDs. I know that some hobby companies make the flickering LEDs that go in the back. I actually have had success before. I'm sorry, I don't have this one powered up, but I made this cool Colonial Viper, one of the first models I did. And again, it's not plugged in, but what I did was I just took some of those off-the-shelf flickering LED votives that are really popular. You can get like 24 of them for like $10 on Amazon or something. Just, again, the little flickering LED candles. I take out the LED from there. The color is orange, which isn't what I want, but what I do is I run that as a resistor in line and then just paint over the LED so you can't see the LED. And basically, as current passes through that flickering LED unit, the power that comes out on the other side also varies. So I'll just hook some blue LEDs up to the back, kind of like I did here, and I like it a little better than the hobby flickering lights because it seems to be a little more gradual and natural looking. So I think I'm excited about the way that that's going to look. And what I think I'll do actually, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist about LEDs and all that stuff, is I think what I'm going to do is, let's see. I'll bring the kit around so you can see. Sorry, it doesn't have the benefit of any editing, but you know, as opposed to having one flickering unit here, one flickering unit here, and one here, I think I'm going to route some pretty fat fiber optic cables and kind of randomize it. So, you know, as maybe you have one filament in here, 3 in here, and 2 in here, they're all tied to one LED that's flickering, and then you have maybe 3 in here and 2 in here and 1 in here or something like that. So it's sort of randomized and kind of offset so that instead of the entire engine flickering, it'll, you know, parts of it will kind of flicker on and off in sort of a, you know, random pattern inside, and kind of break that up and randomize it a little bit. So that's the plan. Still a lot remains to be seen. I don't know how exactly I want to power it. I think what I will do is run things through, I have an Arduino board here somewhere. Basically run things through a small Arduino chip. There's an Arduino Nano, so I'll probably do it, I'll prototype it on the bigger board and then run it down to the Nano, put that inside the body of the starter store. I don't know if I want to put the batteries actually inside the starter store. I think it might be easier just to run a wire out of, say, the base and then have it go into a stand and put all the batteries and stuff in the stand. The only downside of that would be that obviously makes it harder to hang it if you want to have it on the ceiling or something. So things to think about there. I'll be using fiber optics to light all the sides, and then some of these bump outs on the bottom, and obviously the bridge and all that. I'm going to use some of those SMD micro LEDs. I've got them ordered from Amazon. The one, I think they're 1 millimeter in length. Those will run inside the bay here, and then there'll also be some accent lights around the edge. And I'll probably use some variety of RGB programmable LEDs inside for the actual fiber strand, so that I can randomize the colors and get some really subtle colors, like some kind of like warmer whites and just slightly bluish whites and some violets and things. So, you know, I don't want it to look too ridiculous, but I want it to kind of have a good variety of lights throughout. So anyway, just kind of getting started now. I think I'm excited to get to build some of these photo etch parts and the bays and things, and show some progress. So stay tuned for more.